Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Steel Division replay cast. Today it's going to be a 1v1 on Villers Bocage between our red player AmberT. It's going to be sporting the 12th SS Panzer, and our blue player National Holiday is going to be sporting the 101st Airborne, two players that I have casted long ago in Wargame Red Dragon. I hope to see some pretty cool action. Going to be a short game. Just went and found it on the replay website. Gonna put that in the description below. If you have a replay that you want casted, go ahead and email me, or just put it on that site with my name in it, and I should see it sooner or later, and I will try to cast it. So we're gonna be moving on out here. On the right side, not too much for either player, most of it going down the middle at the moment. And from what I have played with 1v1 so far in this game, really, I think the best way to go about it is an infantry deck. I just feel infantry in this game is super good. As you can see, the infantry can get around all of these places here, and played a game a little while ago, and I think it was Panzer Lair, and absolutely got destroyed in a 1v1. And then I played the Fallschirmjäger division right thereafter, and absolutely dominated. It's really all about the infantry. If you have bad infantry in your deck, they just get overwhelmed very easily. It's very easy to just simply bring in some engineers, as you see here, and torch your opponent very easily. And more engineers coming in. As you can see, like no tanks from the 101st Airborne, and of course not a lot of tanks in the Airborne division, but just sporting all of the infantry. 2-star engineers will absolutely devastate infantry in this game. It can take on several squads half the time at once. And there is a Boita Cromwell on the left side here. Can't quite see down the road just yet. Can kind of see right up through there. Can't see the rifleman though. And more is coming. 20 mil Sonderkraftfahrzeug, 250 moving up the center as well. No engagements just yet. Everybody stopped dead. And this is exactly why you see that infantry decks are just really good in 1v1. If you had 2-star infantry everywhere, you just put them all on the sides everywhere, and the engineers will quickly defeat these grenadiers, immediately pinned down and falling back, completely surrendered. No damage done to the engineers in any way there. And you'd figure that flamethrowers would beat regular infantry, but that badly? I don't know. So infantry decks are definitely a thing at the moment. Panzer II might be able to see this engineer here soon. One big main difference between Wargame Red Dragon and Steel Division, should you not play Steel Division and would like to know, is that tanks can't move through tree lines in this game, which I find odd, as tanks are pretty good at knocking down hedgerows, of all things. Panzer Grenadiers going at it with just rifles there. Rifles surrender, as they were totally outnumbered that time around. But as you can see, all the 101st Airborne infantry is superior in terms of its veterancy. And we just have a couple leaders over here. And so this section right here is pretty vulnerable at the moment. The leaders not too powerful by themselves, obviously, but do provide that command aura, which gives an additional star of veterancy to whatever may be in it, which results in less retreating and stress. And I think it increases their, of course, their firepower, their accuracy a little bit as well. Not necessarily the firepower itself. And Panzer II and Boita Cromwell moving on up. And the center has completely shrunk. No units in there to really control that sector. Even if a unit was just right here, all that would be his. The engineers poised right up at the front there, taking this section, and that's resulting in quite a bit of points for National Holiday. Mustang coming on in, and we'll be dropping there. right on the units, caused them to be pinned, and will be falling back, and immediately surrendered again. And I really hope that Eugen slash Paradox, although I really feel this game is way more Eugen than Paradox. I think Paradox just sort of added some art to the game, because this is essentially Wargame Red Dragon just rebooted, really, almost like a mod, if you will. Very fun game. I do enjoy it, but I think some things could be changed slightly. I think the stress of the infantry is a little too much, and the tanks and vehicles for that matter as well, because retreating immediately means that you don't have control of your units, and if you don't have control of your units, then that means you cannot play the game competitively. If you don't have control of your units in any game, that means that you simply can't play competitively at certain times in the game. You need control. The more control you have over your units, the better you can be. And so I feel like it's a little just too much. 37 there actually gets 2 side shots on the Panzer II and the Cromwell, and only a 37mm light gun there, but the 2 side shots immediately take that out. So AmberT in a bit of trouble now, losing that Cromwell and Panzer II. And now even more anti-tank guns here, way too many. This is a huge overreaction of anti-tank guns for the Cromwell and the Panzer II there. So it's probably going to be regretting buying both of those after this 37 took out both of those. But I suppose the more the merrier here. Wirbelwind coming in, or Wirbelwind coming in. I don't even know how you would say that in German. I know W's are mostly V's in German. I would say German is probably my second best language, but I would never consider myself a speaker of German in that sense. I just know a lot of the phrases. Like, of course, Sonderkraftfahrzeug, because it's just amazing that they would even call anything that in the first place. 37 here setting up, and the 250 going to be firing 20 mil, and the MG42. And that gets destroyed just before that 37 was about to be destroyed. Just one man left in that crew there. Almost lost that. I would like to see Eugen bring back supply trucks reinforcing infantry. That would be pretty nice. I thought there was quite a bit of skill involved in that, you know, and of course the supply lines. Getting a supply vehicle to your infantry in Wargame Red Dragon was sometimes easier said than done. Wirbelwind going after the Mustang here. Gonna shoo that away. Mustang's incredibly fast planes in Steel Division, especially the fighter Mustang. I'm not sure what its designation is, but it goes 700 kilometers an hour, I believe, and these it goes 650, the Mustangs. And for some reason it won't seem to get off my... Wirbelwind. I'll actually have to look that up. I think it might be Wirbelwind or Wirbelwind. I don't know. Who knows? And now AmberT doesn't really have too much of an option here. As you can see, an infantry deck in this game. If you're gonna go 1 versus 1, just let me just throw this out here now. Can you win with any deck? Yes, probably. But does it make it worlds easier to have a very infantry-oriented deck such as the 101st? Another very good one is the Fallschirmjäger deck as well. I actually tried, I think it was actually the Panzer Grenadier deck, where you have the Ersatztruppen, I believe, and I was completely overwhelmed. I thought the Ersatztruppen, I could cover the map very well, but you simply just get overwhelmed anytime any infantry, even just any of these, you can just pick them out from the barrel. Any of these infantry would take on multiple Ersatztruppen, and then that whole section would be completely lost. So it's really just, you're just better off, plain and simple, just to get a deck with double star, single star infantry. It just makes things so much easier. As you can see, you can sneak up on a tank so easy. It's hard to even get a tank. Like, where could you even get a tank right now? You could have it all the way in the back here, put it along the roads, but as you can see, the roads twist and turn so easy, it's hard to actually get shots half the time, which is, of course, also half the skill as well. But the infantry push right now is just terrorizing AmberT. I did read on the replay website that this was actually game number 2, but I decided to cast this one instead to show how well infantry decks do in a 1v1. As I said before, I played one, lost, then I played, I decided, oh, I see, because basically I got hit by the 101st, I got hit by flamethrowers and infantry, so I said, fuck it, I'm going to go the same, I'm going to Fallschirmjäger the hell out of you, and the second game I won by a huge margin. I found it so much easier, it was unbelievably easier. And I don't mean to always take the easy way out, but at this point in the game, infantry is very, very good. Just the way that Wargame, or rather Steel Division operates, I might as well just call this Wargame Steel Division. And now AmberT pushed back towards the greater half of the map here. Just a few minutes left in the game. We'll see what he tries to do with the Artie here, moving on up. And has some additional infantry moving up as well. Another Sonderkraftfahrzeug 250 moving on up. I just like to say it slow like that because it's just such a funny word. 75mm 250. And about to fire on this truck. About to take it in the face. Oh no! And didn't do too much, surprisingly. Multiple bombers moving on in here. We have an anti-tank bomber gonna hit the artillery here and should take out one. No, does not take out that one, but Mustang's gonna drop and double drop and doesn't take any of them out, but does release the infantry early, which causes a big problem there. And we'll have to run all of those recon all the way up, although the recon aren't going to get all the way up, but they're going to have to get up somewhere there. And infantry moves so slow in this game. But I would like to see it go back to sort of Wargame Red Dragon, and that you can take vehicles through the woods, because a Tiger tank or a King Tiger, even a Panther, even a Panzer IV, to some degree, even lesser tanks, not being able to move through a hedgerow, and this is what we're talking about here. It's just a small tree that a tank would just barrel right over. And if they can do it in Wargame Red Dragon, they can do it here. Another thing about Wargame Red Dragon, another difference is the maps are much... I think the maps are much more interesting in Wargame Red Dragon. I like the small maps for 1v1 in this game. I think that's really convenient. I really like how they set up this small arena-style map that, you know, in Wargame Red Dragon, it would be this. It would be the entire map, if not bigger. And things moved a little bit faster in Wargame Red Dragon as well. But I do like these small maps. It's really nice, the small arena style. But as you can see, they get overwhelmed pretty quickly here. So maybe be slightly bigger, I'm not sure. But either way, I think the Wargame Red Dragon maps are a little bit more interesting. It's sort of a whole Korean sort of map. A map pool, if you will, of North Korea and South Korea. And so there's hills, there's mountains to hide in, there's mountains to fly over, and things like that. I thought there was just a bit more to it than Steel Division. Although, you can't really blame it, because this is Normandy. This is mostly, of course, this is all in France, but which in that section of France is pretty flat and pretty dull overall. Or at least in terms of geography. Of course, France elsewhere is quite mountainous and beautiful as a country, and my game just crashed. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. So, National Holiday has won the game, but I hope to cast many more of these in the future. I have been a little bit busy lately, and I hope you guys are enjoying this black screen that you're looking at. I got a Steel Division has stopped working. Please send us this error to help fix the problem and improve this software, which I don't think will ever happen because these things never seem to actually work, but I will send the report. I love you guys, and I hope to see you guys next time.